So I'm going to be doing a review on Batman and Red Robin issue 19. I got this for $2.99 plus tax and all that fun stuff at my local comic shop. So this is the cover. And as always, the first part of this review will be 100% spoiler free. Just overall opinion and all that fun and exciting stuff. So yeah, this is I know I say this every review, but I have tried to film this so many times. Why? Is there a rule somewhere that I cannot film a video that I don't spend over an hour trying to get right? Because I always get so off topic like I'm doing right now, but we are going to focus here. We're going to get this done. So yeah, back to the comic and not my life struggles. There have been so many mixed reviews on this comic that it is insane. I don't know if I've seen so many mixed reviews for any other comic ever. So many people either love this or hate this, and it's scenes that one person loves, everyone else hates, and the scenes everyone hates, this person loves, and it's so confusing. But my opinion, and I'm so worried because I'm scared I'm gonna make one side that hates it mad or one side that loves it mad because I'm always somewhere in the middle, but honestly I'm gonna have to lean more towards the love it side. I don't absolutely love this, I'm not framing it on my wall and saying this is the holy grail of comics. If you don't get this, you are missing the greatest comic of all time. But it is a good comic. That being said, I wasn't expecting the holy grail of comics, but I was expecting a good comic, and that's what I got. This issue was so interesting, and I thought it was so well written. I don't get a lot of the hate remarks. I get some of them. Because some of them were about Tim Drake, but I don't really think a lot of the problems with Tim Drake were totally the writer's fault. I would have liked more Tim Drake in a comic that Tim Drake was supposed to co-star in. He does have a rather large role in this, and it's bigger than the time where they included him on the cover of the Night of the Owls thing or whatever. That I think that was it, and he was only in the last panel, and he was only drawn in, and he didn't even talk in the comic. This he actually does talk in, and he does have a pretty big role. It's not all about him, though. There's another character in this comic who I am so excited about and love, who I adored in this, who probably takes more of the main stage and is probably the person you notice a bit more than Tim Drake's role, which, for a Tim Drake fan, I was expecting something a bit different, but I'm still satisfied with this and buy this now to understand the events of future comics. I really did like this. Like I said, I'm not in love with it, but I think it's really well written. It gives you a huge insight to where Batman's mindset is at, and his mindset is not great right now after the events of Batman Incorporated issue 8 and the fact that, well, sad spoiler, a lot of his family isn't too fond of him right now. So poor guy. Yeah, but okay, now let's go into spoiler zone. I'll give you a second to X out if you don't want any spoilers. I totally understand. I'm spoiling quite a bit of the comic. Who am I kidding? But I'm not going to try to spoil all of it, because what fun is that if you buy it? So yeah, like I said, click out if you don't want any spoilers. Like and subscribe first, but yeah, click out. Go for it. That's long enough unless you're taking your sweet time, dragging your cursor to the X and seeing when I unfreeze and stuff. But yeah, okay. Now we get to open it and you guys get to see the full cover and the mystery person. You probably can't see that well, but it says on it, is the Dark Knight's new partner Carrie Kelly? They put her in the main continuity, guys. Internet high five. I thought they were going to bring her in at some point, but honestly, DC Comics hasn't been too great at bringing back characters we love, or at least bring them back with the same origin story. But like how Stephanie Brown and Cassandra Cain and Wally West and others are still not back. But they brought Carrie Kelly, which a lot of fans loved, some fans hated. Some fans were like, give us back Stephanie Brown and Cassandra Cain, don't just bring someone in from the other thing. I'll take her, and then, I'll take Carrie Kelly. I'm really happy about Carrie Kelly. And, I'm hoping at some point they'll bring back those characters it's not looking too good for Cassandra Cain, sadly, because she is my favorite female character probably of all time. Like, she might be tied with Barbara Gordon, but I think she has her beat just a little bit because I love Cassandra Cain. But yeah, let's get into the comic instead of my rambling bits. But yeah, Carrie Kelly is characterized as someone who was friends with Damien and gave him lessons. She drives to the Wayne house since she hasn't seen Damien in a while. And can I just say, I love her. She's witty, she's funny, and you can tell she's just full of life. And I just love her line when she shows up at the house. And her line is, I've come a long way to see the wizard Damien. And I'm glad they're throwing another redhead into the mix. And so were guys who drove next to her who she threw a pizza at. So Bruce never heard of her and drives to where she lives, I guess. Alfred drives him there and to just see who she is and why Damien was hiding her from them. But yeah, like in this, by the way, it shows the letter signed CK that we saw in the last Batman and Robin. I was wondering who that was because at first I thought like, oh, CK, Clark Kent. And everyone was like, oh, he must have given Damien some stuff. And it was, apparently he didn't, and it was Carrie Kelly. So that was trying to allude to something, but our minds just went immediately to Superman because, you know, CK. And then she answers the door from their party and just put a knife in Bruce's heart. She's dressed as Robin, and in, like, the original Robin gear. I think that's, like, almost completely the original Robin costume. Like, not in the New 52, but, like, pre-New 52. And it's cool to see the original Robin costume again. I kind of missed it. Like, I thought they had scrapped that because everyone always made fun of it. But it's cool to see it on someone, even if it's not who originally wore it. It's still cool, and he gives her all the stuff she left at their door, plus a check, and she screams, "Where's Damien?" Because, but the thing that confuses me is I think in Detective Comics, wasn't there like a news station that the police were watching where it says Damien may have been, or was that Batman Incorporated? That Damien might have been involved in what was going on and he might have been fatally injured. I feel like that was on a news station. So maybe the author didn't know about that while he was writing this, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it didn't happen anymore, or if no one knows his condition or whatever. But apparently they don't, since she has no idea what the heck happened to him. It must be so hard, because they can't talk about the way that he died, because everyone knows Robin's dead. So that's just, it's a bummer. Because everyone's going to wonder if Bruce is, like, insane and locked Damien in his basement because, good God, a 10-year-old just all of a sudden disappears. His father won't tell you where the heck he is, and he just mysteriously shows up at your place. You probably assume the father murdered him or something. But yes, and then it goes to Bruce and Frankenstein. All hail comics, I love it. And he kidnaps Frankenstein and takes him to Castle Frankenstein, I think it's called, and says he needs his help bringing Damien back. Stuff just got real. Batman wants to make, like, a Frankenstein Damien. You know he's desperate. And Frankenstein does not want to do this and tries to make Batman understand how bad this would be. And Alfred knows Bruce is up to something, so he calls Tim. And you gotta give Tim some props for showing up, because in Detective Comics, when they tried to contact Nightwing and Batgirl about stuff that was happening in Gotham that was pretty big, neither of them responded to the call. Batgirl was trying to handle things, but she didn't actually respond, and Nightwing's driving out of town in that comic. So, yeah, Tim shows up, and you can tell he's still bothered by the fact that Batman's pretty much alienated his whole family. But when he sees what he's doing, he's immediately concerned because Batman's trying to bring back Damien. And a line that bothers me is Tim says, "I'm not here to rehash what happened in the cave, but you kept a secret that put us all at risk. We deserved better." And Batman said, "The only one who deserved better is the only one who trusted me unconditionally." And I know he just lost his son, so obviously he's moody, but saying Damien was the only one who deserved his trust, I know these people haven't been working for him as long as they were before the New 52, but come on. Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, Tim Drake deserve at least his trust. I mean, come on. So he and Tim get into a little sparring thing, and Tim ends up putting an end to the whole thing, and it doesn't seem like they're gonna be having cake and ice cream anytime soon. And I want to talk about a rumor going around. this is Carrie Kelly's roommate, I believe. And one person pointed out, and I'm like, genius, that she's blonde with a purple tank top. And she is, her dialogue reminds me a lot of Stephanie Brown. So how cool would that be if Stephanie Brown is roommates with Carrie Kelly? I think that'd be interesting, but who knows? We could buy the next comic, and if she's even mentioned again, her name could be Elizabeth. So that would have a few, like, I'm not saying put money on it that it's definitely her. It's probably not, but it's nice to keep hope alive. But yeah, that's the comic, and like I said, I skipped over a lot of parts because I still wanted to leave some parts, like, for your reading enjoyment. But, okay, let's talk about why some people have a problem with this. Mainly, it's for the characterization of Tim Drake. And can I just say, I'm so sad this confrontation didn't happen before the New 52, because before the New 52, I just feel like it could have been excellent. Like, no one would understand more of what Bruce is going through than Tim. Tim tried to clone his best friend when he died before the New 52 to try to bring him back. I'm not sure if Bruce would have listened more, because even though he is probably more of a listener than he is a talker, well, he doesn't really, at this point, he's not listening to anyone. But I think, like, Tim would have had more room to talk and more things to say to him to try to get through to him. This Tim was trying to get through to him a bit, but as always in comics, things usually end in some form of violence, because a lot of people reading comics, some people don't always read them for the nice heart-to-hearts like I do. I just want love. But Tim Drake's characterization, I think the writer worked with what he had, which was, which was how Tim is since the New 52. He's changed so much. I don't think the characterization was bad. I actually like the way he was written in this, but, a bit. At least. Like, I don't think he went exactly too far. I think he had to resort to what he had to resort to, which I'm not going to exactly say what that was, sorry. But, so, yeah, he resorted to something that's definitely going to alienate him from Batman, and Batman, seriously, you need friends right now. And he was willing to show up, and I know he lost a son, and that's why he needs friends, but Batman isn't exactly like that, so I understand that. I loved Carrie Kelly in this. I liked this story. I think it shows just how off the walls Batman is getting. It made me really sad reading that whole argument with him and Frankenstein, because it shows you how desperate he is. Because none of what he wanted to do, none of it was right, and it would have ended in a complete and utter disaster. But he just was so desperate to try it. And it was heartbreaking to see Batman like that, because he's not usually the desperate type, and he's usually all for, like, what's right and what's wrong, and he has, like, a very hard drawn line in the sand about that, and he's starting to definitely cross boundaries and lines, and it's really sad, and I feel like he has to bounce back at some point. But who's going to be the new Robin? Do you guys think it's going to be Carrie Kelly? It's almost about positive that it is going to be her, but I honestly didn't think it was going to be her until I heard she was going to appear in comics. But, yeah, and what do you guys think about the do you guys think Stephanie Brown and Cassandra King should come back? I think so, because they have so many fans, me being one of them. But, yeah, what do you guys think? Did you like this issue? What did you think of the way Tim was written in it? What did you think of the confrontation between the two? And how do you think Batman is acting? He's definitely gone off the walls, and the things he was saying, it made me feel really bad for Tim, because I think he was genuinely trying to get through to him. Honestly, Tim needs his own book series, because I feel like Teen Titans sometimes, it takes away from the other characters when they're focusing it on him too, and I feel like he needs his own book, and then the Titans need a book. So yeah, that is my opinion, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I definitely say get this. It's worth picking up. I think it's just showing such an insight to the way Bruce is acting. I thought the writing was good and the art was good. So yeah, definitely I say pick this up. What do you have to lose? You can I think you can return comic books. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Have a great day.